Right. I think I have everything set up, so I should be able to. You guys should be able to hear me. Hello. This is the second part of the Sonic block. We're doing Sonic CD 2011 or Sonic CD, whichever one you prefer. I'm doing this with Tails purely because Tails is my favourite Sonic. Tails is personally my favourite Sonic character, so I like speedrun with him. Last time I checked, the donation bid war ended with Japanese soundtrack and winning. So Japanese soundtrack is the one that we're going to have, and it's already been selected because that's the one I like using. I guess I'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So, Panda Panic. This is the green hill of the game. It's a nice simple stage to get your feet wet if you're just starting, but because there isn't really any any tech that's used here except for flying across the stage when getting speed shoes, I'd like to tell you guys of how this game is run. Like most classic Sonic games, this is run in IGT or in-game timer or in-game time normally, but because this is a marathon, we've decided to use RTA or real-time attack. Yes, that's the word. And there's a couple strats that you would use in a normal. I messed that one up. There's a couple strats you'd normally use in a run that's quicker on IGT but slower in RTA. I won't be using them purely because, well, you say RTA run, you're supposed to go as fast as you can in RTA. So that was Panda Panic 2. I kind of messed it up a little bit for not bouncing off the speed shoes like I normally would, because I'm honestly kind of I'm not rusty. It's just that I'm a bit. It's really hard to get the jump off. So, welcome to probably one of the easiest bosses in Sonic history. Done. And I'll pause there to get that, and I get the glitch where, for whatever reason, Tails is just there, and he's walking to nowhere because I've somehow gone past the stage lock and just gone straight in. Right. Now time for one of the harder stages in. Well, not one of the hardest stages, but one of the stages where it's easiest to mess up. Collision Chaos, where there's pinball aspects of the stage. But like normal, I basically fly across the stage normally, and this should meet the thing. Okay, good. Michael Tails Jackson. There you go. Right, Collision Chaos 2 is a stage where I can mess up purely because there's a quick strat that I normally use, but because this is again a marathon, I'm not going to use. You would normally spin dash over there and hit and bounce on a badnik, but I'm just gonna take it nice and slow. Not slow, but, well, you know, I won't be using IG stats as my face. So that's fairly about average on what I'd get for using slow strats. I can save a couple of seconds for if I do normal, but it's quite risky, and I didn't mean to jump there. And Collision Chaos 3 is one of the stages where you can mess up quite easily. Oh, well, I'm going back in this way. To put in perspective on how quick you can do this staging, I think I average it around about 17 to 18 seconds. But you can mess up quite quickly, and it just turns extremely bad. Right, here's one of the tricks that I'm hopefully... Yep, I got. It's called... basically, you use the momentum of the spin dash to launch yourself up, and then use the badnik to go over the wall. You can't normally do that. You would get blocked off by the game. Tails is the best Sonic character. There you go. There's someone else there. We may be in the minority, Sion, but me and you know.
Heck yes, we know.
Yeah. Right. Total Tempest 2, this is one of the stages where you can save time in IGT, but it's slow in RTA. But I won't be using the trick that does that, purely because, well, it's slow in RTA, and this is an RTA 1, so... That was a nice little jump. So, whilst I'm just flying by, I'm going to tell you some differences in the Sonic CD 93 or 95 version and the 2011 version. One of them obviously is, in a normal version you don't get to play as Tails. That was added in the 2011 remake. Another one is the physics are a little bit jank, a little bit different, meaning you can, in speed-ons, you can do a lot more crazy stuff. This one is really very glitchless. There are a couple glitches as I've shown you, but most of the entire one is totally glitchless, which is pretty cool because I quite like doing glitchless ones more because it's less stressful if you don't miss them. Or obviously if you miss glitches, then oh yeah, you've lost a lot of time. But in this one, you don't really lose that much time because there aren't really that many glitches. There's one or two, and one of them I've already shown you. Right. So, Quarters Quadrant, this is a fairly chill stage. There isn't really much that can go wrong. As I say, I almost time travelled when I didn't mean to. One of the things is, well, there's another speed shoes, because you, in the Tails one, you do pick up a lot of speed shoes, which is pretty good, because, well, yeah, obviously with speed shoes you go faster, and in a speed on you're meant to go fast, so. Welcome, Shadow. Hopefully I show you a pretty decent showing. Right. Yet again, we pick up speed shoes and then we just end up going. That was a bad fly it down. End up getting that though. Nice. I've got a IGT timer behind me, well not behind me, next to me, so I can tell you guys what the IGT of this is, and this is it's not the best one, but considering it's a marathon one, I'm actually doing pretty good. As I mess up. But next, Quartz Quadrant 3 is called the treadmill. Well, it's not called a treadmill, but it is a treadmill. You hold left, right, sorry. You slow down to let the bomb drop, and then you just jump over it. Fairly simple. Your treadmill of doom. You must continue holding right. Otherwise you'll get spikes, hit, and that's not nice. Right. So the next stage in this is probably the most infamous one in Sonic City, Wacky Workbench, where one tiny mistake and you lose like 50 seconds. That has happened to me in the past on a PB run, and needless to say, I wasn't happy. I was fairly annoyed. But I won't let that happen here, hopefully. It's pretty easy, kind of. Well, that was interesting, but yeah, I didn't mean to do that. There's a simpler route that you can do, but I ended up getting the speed shoes and just flying towards there. But I mean, I didn't do the mistake I was saying about, so I'm pretty happy. Oh, well, didn't jump there. Should still make the cycle that I need. Yep. Ouch. There you go. That was a fairly average Wacky 2. Nothing really bad happened. Obviously me getting hit at the end wasn't really the best, but... Right, Wacky 3. There's a bit of tech in the boss fight that allows me to complete it much faster than Sonic can, but it is quite hard to pull off. Hopefully I get it. Basically, right, I'll try to get, yeah, no. I'll get the ring and I'll try again from the second one. Basically you try to fly up and and land on top of the platforms as they're high up in the air, but it is quite difficult to pull off. Yeah, I'm not even going to try for that. Ouch. in a uh, in a really good one, you would get at least 1 or 2 of them to jump up and save probably about 10 seconds, but I couldn't quite do it. Right, start the speedway. One of my favourite stages in the entire game. Purely because you go really fast if you know what that you're doing. Oh look, there's more speed shoes. I wonder if anyone's had a count of how many speed shoe boxes are broke. It must be a lot by this point. I probably could have waited for the 30-second there, to be honest, but so Solar Speedway is one of the stages where there's loads of different routes that loop together, and loads of people say that Sonic Solar Speedway is pretty hard, but if you know the quickest route, it's actually really fun to do. As I mess up. Okay, yeah, I think if I'm not going to get to 30 by there, I'm going to wait. Yeah. It's called Speedway for a reason. Yeah. You go really fast. Right. So, Stardust Speedway 3 is the fight with infamous fight with Metal Sonic, which I haven't had the best luck in practice. I did 3 ones before today or yesterday, and I died twice. I died 2 out of 3 times, which has never happened to me before. Hopefully it doesn't happen here, because this is actually a pretty decent paced one. You'd think that, oh, because Tails can fly, this would be a cakewalk, but his flight actually makes him slower than Metal Sonic's walking, I think? At least it feels like it. So really what you have to do is watch out. I should be fine here. Yep. There you go. This boss is really short. I would have liked it to be a bit longer, but considering how many players have issues with this boss in general, myself included, I'm not really that surprised that they didn't make it longer. Yeah, the insta-kill laser. Right. So, welcome to the final zone of the game. I know, we're already here. It's pretty insane. Lieutenant Madness. And the route that I take can be quite difficult. Especially when I, hit myself right into spikes and die. Yay! Oh boy. And then I don't get the right... Wait, okay. Yeah, Lieutenant Madness is quite underrated. Purely because everyone looks back and then thinks that it's really hard. And well, I'm messing up right now, but... It's not as hard as everyone makes it out to be. No, I don't want to time travel there, since that would make the ending pretty difficult to get. So a 39 is actually not that great compared to what I'd normally get, and that's not even including the death. But for Marathon 1, it's pretty good. But Lieutenant Madness is great and really short. Yeah, especially with Tails, because, well, I'll show you. This could be counted as the next real glitch in Sonic CD, where, well, see, this isn't a glitch, but that is. But where's the 100% rings one? I believe that has. I think it is possible, but because of the time travel mechanic, you have to go to the past and then the future, or the past and then the present again, and then the future and then the present. You have to time travel a lot, and I doubt it will. You'll probably time out on some of these stages. Right. Here's the final stage. Weirdly enough, this stage is the only one in the entire speedrun to be recorded in RTA, purely because there's a timer bug in this game where no matter what stage you've done, if you've done Mathew10 Madness 1 in, I don't know, 38 seconds and 25 milliseconds, that 25 carries over to the next stage for whatever reason. They didn't really count it. Also, there's a thing there called double hit, where you have, I want to say, frames of a chance to hit, and it is really hard to hit. Like, it is pretty difficult. It's a lot easier with Sonic because he has a higher hitbox, but with Tails it is pretty hard. But we're coming up to the end of the run. As soon as I get the final hit on Eggman or Robotnik, I will say time, and then we'll be done. Well, time. Wait, no. Time. Oh my. I thought I was gonna die. The way that he just wouldn't hit, I thought I was gonna get hit whilst hitting him, and then I was gonna die. Can you use his tails to hit Robotnik? I don't think so. I want to say no, but I haven't tested it.
Congrats on getting under time.
Oh, what time did I get if I may ask?
21:07.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, very good. Congrats on the run.
Thank you. And the IGT, if anyone wondered, is a 14:21.76.